Hey everybody, it is Margaret and I'm here with my friend Nick and we are here to talk about stuff.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
I'm doing okay. So yeah, Nick and I had a chat a couple weeks back about just depression and isolation and just, I mean, it seems like a strange thing for us to talk about, but um, we've been talking behind the scenes and decided to go ahead with it. And I know that we both got a lot of really great, messages and emails about people that it really struck a chord with. So we decided to come on and have another chat.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to open things and get a window open so I can see the chat. I'm working on it.
You need a website.
Oh,
Why
hang
not do
on,
it
that's
yourself?
me.
Wix makes it easy to create a selling website.
I
so
can't
you can
find
show
where
the
the
world
volume's
who you are.
coming from.
Mute it. So yeah, I was telling Nick briefly right before we got started that I'm having one of those days, and it's one of those days, right? And he was asking, do you want to wait and like not have the chat today? And I was like, no, this is why we do this, or wanting to do this just to show like, hey, I know I'm really upbeat most of the time. I have, but today's been
Right.
a pretty off day for me. So
I can't find the window that's playing.
I don't know, Nick. I don't know. So yeah, I mean, I like my instinct, like inside of me, is just like telling me most of the time, I'm gonna like reach through the screen, Nick. um, yeah, like my instinct is just
Huh? Sorry, this
I'm
isn't
letting you
working.
talk. You just take your time. Yeah, it just like to crawl into my little shell and like hi to everybody. I'm serious. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm doing this on purpose. He's trying to like cheer me up by distraction. No, he's not. I'm gonna say hey in the chat while you're over there doing whatever it is. You okay? You all right?
Like
I've got a YouTube window playing somewhere.
distraction.
It
Can
sounds
you hear
like
that?
No, he's not.
what I was
Hey,
saying
in
a
the
while
chat
ago.
while you're over there doing whatever. You okay?
Can you mute it?
I've still got a window playing that I can't close somewhere. Can you hear that?
I hear
A
it.
YouTube window playing. What? I don't have any other window open.
I don't know. Can you just turn all the volume all the way down? Like mute everything? No? Yes? I don't know. I'm gonna say hey in the chat, and I'm just gonna ignore. How about that? So, hey in the chat, how's it going, everybody? Henry's here and Latest Grace. Hey, Chelsea and Freckles and Maggie, and I'm missing people. Susan, hello, Kathy. Hey, Tracy and Dobby, or is it Dobie? I'm not sure. And Christopher, Jennifer. Hello, everybody. Thrifty Rose, Jeanette, Carmel, Lisa, Joni, and John, and Richard. I'm saying hi to everybody. How's the echo coming? Still going? Jason, hello, Melissa and Elle Smith, Hans and Bobby Moon, Trina, Kath. Oh, okay. And hi, everybody. Hey, Angie. No, we just started, sort of. Nick is.
Oh,
You okay? You got it? We good? We're waiting?
No, we just started, sort of.
is that working?
No, I hear me still.
Oh, no, I've still got something else playing in the background, and I've got no other windows open.
Do you have another computer?
We're waiting. No, we just started, sort of.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it.
No, I hear me still.
Right, maybe I should close this down and come back in.
Okay, do it. You close it down.
I've got no other windows.
That was a little nuts. So now I'm all alone. Okay, so yeah, he's out. He'll be back, maybe. So hey, everybody, thanks so much. Oh, hi, Treasure Gnome. I know, right? Hey, Jeff, I see lots of other people coming in. So yeah, it's been kind of a bumpy day for me today. And, this is kind of what we're talking about, right? No, it's not me. Watch it be me. And he's going to go bananas. No, it's not me. Gosh, I don't even know where we were going to chat. So yeah, we had a really great response from everybody about the last one. The irony is hilarious. Totally. Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people were really positive about, like, you know, the chat that Nick and I did a few weeks back and talking about the depression and things that we go through and have gone through was really good. And just people saying that it struck a chord with them and that they could identify. Look, he's back.
Okay, I'm back.
You sound good.
Is that okay?
Sounds
That was
good.
the weirdest thing. I couldn't stop either of us talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
That's okay. So
Right.
how's it going? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I've just come from our little live hangout,
Right, yeah.
Vinny. But yeah, as you were saying before I had to disappear, we both had lots of messages from people just, I don't know, they were glad that we'd talked about it, really. And I was, when I came off that chat, I was really glad that I'd done it, because it was a step I think I needed to take, just to start the conversation with myself, you know, about what I went through and the fact that it's all good. And people responded to that so well. So yeah, it's good.
I agree. Yeah. So, yeah. Would you say that the majority of messages you got were from guys or from girls? Just
Men.
really? Okay.
Yeah, some people I knew already, and some complete strangers that just reached out and said, I know where you were coming from. That sounded like you were talking about my life, that sort of thing. People
Right.
that were stuck in that situation I was in 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So that was really powerful, hearing that from people, you know, that they identified with where I'd been and really appreciated the fact that I was talking about it, and it made them feel less isolated for that moment, you know.
Right, totally. And I would say probably 90% of people that contacted me were ladies. So, I mean, that's good, you know. Maybe a guy wouldn't have reached out, you know what I mean, to me
Yeah.
because I'm a girl.
Yeah,
It was
probably.
great. So that, I mean, yeah, that's awesome. So
Did you dip in the chat before when I was having a tech meltdown?
I did. I just said hey to people.
Okay.
So, but a lot of people were saying, you know, that you know, that's why they're back and they're glad that we were talking about it. Basically, we have 75 viewers already. You know, and a
Wow.
lot of people are saying, you know, that they have for family members that have anxiety, depression, and it is like it's a battle some days. You know, like I was telling you today, for me is like I'm struggling, but I'm trying to push through. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
one of those things.
And do you, if you have a day when you're struggling, is it for you wake up and you're in that place, or is it something that triggers it, or do you not even know?
Well, like one, because I've been at it for so long, I do know some of my triggers, and so it's like lack of sleep, not getting enough sleep. You know, and my son woke us up at like 4:15 this morning, and I couldn't get back to sleep, right? And so I've been up since 4:15 this morning, and probably didn't go to bed till, you know, after midnight. So not getting enough sleep generally, you know, it can really make it easier to slip there. But, you know, and then just life things, like little things that happen that would seem like non-issues suddenly become way more magnified, you know, and you just have to, and because, like I say, because I've been at it so long, like I know the kinds of weird, I mean, like, it sounds cheesy, but like motivational, like quotes to say to myself and, you know, cliches, but that really kind of work to push you through it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, little things that can flick a switch in your head and make you see the positive in something.
Yeah, yeah, our perspective, you know, that just changes the perspective a little bit. And, you know, watching you guys just a little while ago, that was really good when you were talking about, you know, finding the things as a positives of being, you know, self-employed. Like Z was talking about having to go get his daughter, and I remember having to go to my principal all the time when my kids were sick, and oh, it was so stressful. So nothing else, this job is good in that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have to remind myself sometimes, you know, if work's getting on top of me or I'm struggling for motivation or whatever, I do have a conversation with myself and say, you know, appreciate where I am and the fact that we put ourselves in this situation for a reason, for lots of reasons, and there's so many positives about it. You know, I love doing what I do. A lot of people can't say that about their work.
Yeah.
And I have the freedom to do what I like when I like, and I just have to remember that that is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And be grateful, really.
Caramel in the chat is saying that she found your story interesting because her son is going through anxiety panic attacks at the moment. He's 14 and school is a huge trigger. She's taken him out and he's being homeschooled. And actually, like, this is something, I hear that echo again, Nick. So that's something that we haven't totally discussed, but if it goes that way with my older son, you know, he's already stressed. I mean, he's in 3rd grade and he's just, you know, got jaw issues because he's grinding his teeth and just stressed out, like, for what? So that's, yeah, something to keep an eye on. Anyway. Yeah. And I'm sorry if I'm saying this person's name wrong, but Dobby, having gone through it, it always mystifies me that bouts of depression did not seem to be in any way related to what was going on in my life at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I struggled looking back at it because I said in the first hangout we did that I didn't really have reasons to hang what I went through on, you know, and I struggled with that because it felt like, why did I go through that? What is wrong with me? What triggered it? And I still couldn't really explain.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's no easier to go through if you have a life event that causes it, but at least you can pinpoint what sent you on the spiral.
Yeah, for sure.
I just dug a hole and went in it, really. It's how it felt.
But I mean, yeah. But I think, I mean, I don't know. I think it was, yeah, you probably made it yourself, but at the same time, I think the whole idea of being a failure, especially for a guy, you know, is a big deal. Like, for guys to feel like they're not successful at what they are saying they're going to do or wanting to do or following through, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the whole pressure thing. Like, when you talked about Randy last time, I could identify with that absolutely, because you feel you have to do X, Y, and Z because you're a man and you're going to do this and you're going to provide and all of those things that we heap up on top of ourselves. Yeah, that sort of pressure is the total trigger for me. That stresses me out, and that from the stress comes the depression. There's a link there for me.
Do you still find that with, now that you're, you know, working for yourself, do you still find that you put that kind of pressure on yourself to succeed?
I did when we started, and we were building the business, and then we had our retail outlet. But once that became successful, I felt a massive relief. I felt like I had achieved what I wanted to achieve, and since then, yeah, I've not really struggled with that because we got ourselves to a place where money has not been a big issue.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, and I'm wondering, like, because I'm speaking for Randy here, but he's always pushing for better, for more, for, you know, he comes home from work and he's still working. Like, he's always learning something new to push forward, push forward, push forward. And it almost, I mean, we've been married for 13, 14 years, and he's always been like this. So I'm just thinking, like, is it something that's just built into him it's never going to be enough? Like, he could be making $1 million a year and it's just never, like, he's going to constantly want to push forward. You know what I mean? I just wonder, like, if some people it's like, okay, cool, we're there. But for some people it just it's a never ending thing.
Well, I still struggle with it because I still have plans and things and dreams and ambitions, but I'm trying to teach myself to enjoy the position we've got ourselves in and slow down and take time out and not work so hard. But it's really hard for me because that's how I'm built, you know.
Yeah.
I'm very driven, I'm very motivated and want to succeed. So it's a constant battle to tell myself it's okay, you can relax a bit.
Right. Yeah. And you guys were talking in the show y'all were doing before about taking a break, taking a vacation, and we just don't. Like, we work constantly, and Randy is taking a day off tomorrow, and he said, we're not working tomorrow. We're going to go do something. I don't know what. We still don't know what.
I really think it's so important. It just gives you that little bit of perspective. You can step outside of your life and talk about other stuff. Although we struggle with that because Andrea and I work together and we both do reselling, we work at home. If we go out for a meal or whatever, we end up talking about work. And it just, yeah, that's our life because it's so much a part of our life. It's really hard to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't. I mean, we really, sorry, I'm wiggling the table. But I this is all because I don't have coworkers. I don't have a lot of other stuff that I'm doing right now. So this is what I have to talk to him about. You know, and same for him. All he's doing is programming computer stuff, and that's the last thing I want to listen to. I don't know. So we really do. We need something else. Something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just start barreling down that track and just, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. There's a lot of good conversation going on in the chat. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't manage to open that. Shall I attempt to
I'm scared.
I scare myself when I start opening windows.
And you know, okay. So here's something that I talked about last time about the medication stuff. And again, I'm not a doctor or any kind of thing like that, but I talked about what happened to me when I was taking antidepressants and anti-anxiety medicine a long time ago when I was married my first time around. And
Oh, hang on, that's me.
Nick,
I paused it and then it started again.
well, I talked about the reaction that I had and like how it caused panic attacks and it caused like hallucinations. It was that bad. And a friend reached out to me afterwards who had the same exact thing happen. I won't mention any names, but she reached out and said she had the same exact thing happen to her. And her doctor told her that she was highly allergic to this particular class of medication. You know, and so that whatever this particular class of medication was for, I don't even know, whatever blockers it was in the brain, that she was like really allergic to it and it would cause hallucinations and like psychosis, I guess. I don't know. So like, honestly, it made me feel so much better to hear that because I just thought, am I so far gone that this medication is just, gonna send me over the edge? I don't know. Why do we always think it's us, right?
Yeah. But when you think about it, medication that does anything to your brain in any way is so powerful, isn't it? You think about it. I think we touched on it before that when I was put on antidepressants, the thought of that scared me, that I was taking drugs that were going to affect my brain, even if it was in a good way, I stopped taking them super fast. Yeah.
Like, so my teachers are not allowed to diagnose or tell you that your children are, hyperactive or ADHD because it has to be a doctor. But one of my son's teachers kind of hinted that my son might be hyperactive, but she had, had to word it really carefully. And I'm just thinking, well, he's 6, and I'm not going to that's again, another choice for me. I'm like, I feel really strongly about not putting my child on medication like that. That's going to affect his brain while he's developing. Because my kid likes to move around a lot in your class. You know what I mean? And as a teacher, I've been there, but I don't know, like to me and I've seen the effects of medication on children. Yes, some it helps, absolutely. And some it's like watching them just get put in a little baby coma zombie, Anyway.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, we didn't touch on my daughter's struggles last time, but she has anxiety issues. She has panic attacks, which I can't relate to, but my wife Andrea can. And it's really tough to see your kids struggling with that. I mean, Ellen, my daughter, is now 15, and she has problems, I think, putting things in perspective, and then she builds problems up and then becomes overwhelming, and it's when she's in it, you can't really calm her down. There's nothing you can say. You just have to let it ride out, I think.
Yeah.
It's tough, but yeah, I think both me and my wife are trying not to go the route of doctors and pills with it. We're just gonna try and talk about it and rationalize it if we can, and it's so difficult.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I'm just trying to think like what, because Randy bore the brunt of it from my, you know, and it got to the point where it just had to be my own like self-talk to get myself through it, and just to keep reminding myself like I'm not in danger right now, nothing is happening right now, everything's okay, just trying to rationalize myself out of a panic attack. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's it's tough. I mean, I just hope for Ellen's sake that she's got a really great group of friends, and I think some of her friends have their own battles with that sort of thing. So I hope they can talk about it, because she's going to listen to her friends and her peers, perhaps more than she might her parents in a way.
So does that worry you, like how her friends are going to handle talking to her about it?
Not so much, because we know them, and like I said, some of them are having issues with depression and stuff anyway. So I'm just hoping that well, yeah, we don't know what the conversation is, but we hope they're dealing with it in a positive way. But as long as she's got support from her friends, that's the main thing. Going back to my struggle, I isolated myself through school and then further on into art college, and that was the big problem for me, because I didn't have a support network, or not one I could talk about all of that stuff with. I talked about other stuff and had a great bunch of friends and a social life, but could never talk about what I was going through. That was tough. There's so much chat going on, isn't there?
I know there really is. It's a lot. Melissa says, I guess in response to my son, he's 6, a boy. A lot of that contributes to being hyper. A proper healthy diet has been shown to help that. Yeah, and he eats like a horse too, and he's like this big. He's a teeny little, but he's so active. I'm just like, go outside and play, right? And go outside. Yeah, some kids, they say are really hyper. They just need to burn off excess energy. Take them outside to play. Too many kids on meds. I totally agree. I mean, just go take him outside and run him around for a bit, and he'll be fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Diana there is saying that she's been on medication for anxiety and depression since 23ish, and she's now 50. She doesn't think she would be here without it. I didn't go the route of medication, but I like you said, we're not doctors. We're just explaining our personal journey with this. And yeah, absolutely. If medication is what gets you through, then use it.
And I get some of the people that reached out to me were saying that the same thing. Like, I've been on medication and it's helped. Just tons. And I, tried getting off it and it was just horrible. And I got back on, and so certainly that's something that for certain people is beneficial. But for my experience, it was nice to hear somebody else have the same experience as me, though. So that was the one good thing about talking about it, knowing that, hey, maybe I'm allergic to it. That's, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, any sort of substance that I was taking was making my whole spiral worse. So my reaction to taking more drugs was a no.
Yeah. We've had some friends saying bye in the chat. I think they're used to reseller talk, and now they're like, okay, bye. See you later.
That's right.
It's okay.
These chats won't be for everyone, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they'll be very rambly, because we don't really know where we're going with this half the time, do we? I mean, it's just a case of let's talk.
Yeah, we sort of said, well, maybe we can talk about what we do when it happens and how to pull through it. And then just, I don't know, I think also some of the responses we got was just having people saying, having a chance to talk in the chat and having their voice heard for a second, was huge. So, and we kind of talked about that too, like having people come on, but then I'm like, I don't want it to be like, it's group therapy time, No.
Yeah, there's a thin line. We keep saying it, but we're not experts. We're just sharing experiences. But it is nice to see people being able to talk about what they, have experienced, really, and share, even if it is just in the chat. It's huge.
Absolutely, yeah. And I know I talked to you earlier, like I can't go to the full hour because we've had our time change, so I have to pick my kids up in a little bit. So I don't know, I have about 5 more minutes. I know it's short today, but if anybody's got any comments or questions in the chat, or if you have anything else you want to touch on before.
I don't know really. I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to do another one because that was super short.
Yeah, I know.
I was having a tech meltdown for the first 5 minutes.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess like so today, you know, it was kind of a challenging day as far as that goes. Not that I'm looking for therapy, but I'm just like trying to think, what am I do? Like, I think part of getting through it is like pushing yourself. Like I had like this doesn't happen. This is not what I look like in the morning at all. So this is more like it though. But I do like forcing myself to get up, put on makeup, get dressed, you know, and look presentable, you know, like that. And then like this, it would have been so easy just to say, oh no, I can't do it today. I just can't. But just to kind of push through and do it, you know.
Yeah, I identify with that. Back when I was really struggling with depression, I would sleep, and I would that was kind of my comfort place was sleep.
Yeah.
Because you know the craziness inside wasn't going on because you're unconscious. So any way of getting unconscious was a good thing because I could block it all out. Sounds simple, but that was kind of that was my happy place was sleep.
See, and this sounds weird, but like I am scared to sleep during the day because I'm worried it will keep me up at night. And when I was having really bad panic attacks, that they would frequently hit at night or like right before I would go to work. And so even if I have a rough night with the kids, you know, Mikey gets up at night still. He's 6, you know, and he still wakes up in the night. So yeah, just even if I have a rough night and I'm having a day like today, I get nervous about trying to take a nap to catch up on sleep. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Well, my sleeping pattern gets all knocked out quite often because I will stay up late, as you know, and then I'll sleep in because I can because I work for myself, and then my pattern automatically kind of flips and I become a night owl again.
Which I enjoy because then I can chat with you at night.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's always been that's what I've been like forever, really. But it got really bad when I was struggling with depression because that was another way of avoiding people. I'd be up at night and then during the day I'd sleep, you know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have to confront anyone or speak to anyone.
See, I wonder if that will change when my kids are older, because I have to get up and get them ready for school and drive them to school and get, you know, like make sure they've got their snack and all of the mommy stuff, you know. So maybe once I'm able to, you know, that little son of a gun went right back to sleep at 4:15 and he didn't want to wake up at 7 o'clock. I'm trying to wake him up. I'm going to keep sleeping, mommy. So
yeah,
he'll go back to sleep. They're wishing me a stress-free day tomorrow. Randy just texted me and said he's looking forward to our date tomorrow. Yeah. So
cool. Do you know where you're going actually?
I don't. We've thrown around a few ideas. He was like, "Let's get a bottle of wine and go get drunk in the park."
Old school style.
I'm like, that sounds really good, but you know that's the day that the school calls and says, "Your son just threw up. Can you please come pick him up?" Sure, teacher. Oh. So like, that might not be the best idea, you know. And my parents they've gone on a little road trip, so they're not our safety net. They can't go in. So really I have no idea what we're gonna do. Maybe go to the movies?
Yeah.
I want to see Logan.
Logan. I've heard that. What one's that again?
That's the Wolverine one.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah.
I want to see Logan.
Yeah, we used to do cinema a lot when Ellen was younger, take her to all the Disney stuff, but we don't do that much anymore.
Yeah, I like the movies a lot, but you know, we don't get to go very much. So yeah.
Latest Grace has just put a lovely comment in saying, Margaret and Nick, you both rock. Thanks for providing a supportive environment to chat. So if we've achieved that, then that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess I need to go get my kids.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that.
But thanks, and we'll plan it a little more, maybe a little structure.
Yeah, I think we need to pin a little structure on it, because it's such a hard topic to actually vocalize what you're trying to say anyway. If we can have a few questions lined up so we can maybe think about it beforehand as well, because I find it hard to articulate what I'm trying to say about this subject.
Yeah. And later, like if you guys are watching this or after the show, like leave a comment down below. Look at this echoing again. Something that you might want us to talk about if we come back at it.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you dash. Go and get your kids.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.